We're here with Aaron Stahl, a local business owner in Washington County. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing all right on the road, but yeah, I appreciate you having me on, Joey.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, Aaron, recently Fayetteville has passed an ordinance to kind of allow or force a lot of people to wear masks. How is that affecting small businesses, in your opinion?
Well, I think right now it's just one more thing people have to deal with. I think that's the problem a lot of times with these government regulations that people pass. They have good intentions, but it's just one more piece of paperwork, one more piece of red tape that you've got to get through to keep the doors open to your business. And it's just, it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back for a lot of people. And it certainly makes it more difficult for some people to get out and go out and frequent these businesses. And I just think it's unnecessary, really.
Well, sure. The argument's always been, well, just wear a mask. If you want to go shopping, just wear masks. I mean, what does a small business owner say to that?
Well, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, and I don't necessarily think there is, I think there's some actual logic to saying wear a mask. Certainly if you're sick, that's a good idea. But I think the problem is most people inherently want to do the right thing. Most businesses are already out there encouraging this, but there's a big difference between encouraging it and forcing it on people. And so the spirit of this particular ordinance is like basically saying like we're not enforcing it, we're just encouraging people. But Mayor Jordan already did that when he used the email list from the business license to send an unsolicited email to every single business owner in Fayetteville, strongly encouraging them to deny access to people that didn't wear a mask, which is already, in my opinion, a little bit crossing the line of kind of leadership and encouragement. And again, I think most businesses are already out there doing this anyway. But then they go and take it a step further and pass an ordinance, and you get the city council members saying like, well, this is really just meant to encourage people to do this. Well, that's not what it says. It's an ordinance backed by penalties. And they say there's no penalty unless you willfully neglect this ordinance. But what that means is if you're a business and for whatever reason you don't want to comply with this, and maybe you have a lot of valid reasons that these city council members haven't foreseen, but whatever the case may be, if you willfully neglect, i.e. decide not to do it, they can penalize your business $500, $250 a day. And that section 10.99 that's referenced as part of the Fayetteville Code as the penalty section goes so far as if you don't pay the fine, well, they're going to send people with guns and arrest you. And if they arrest you and you can't pay the fine, it even goes further and says like they will allow you to work off your debts on behalf of the city government, which is kind of crazy to even think about that and how that might work. So I think maybe everybody wants to be healthy. Nobody wants to deal with this virus, but when you force people to do something, I think these people forget that there's a gun on the other end of this legislation and these ordinances that happen, and that's just taking it way too far, in my opinion.
Sure. Aaron, what is your business doing? Are you guys willfully complying 100%, or are you just kind of going with the flow? Are you allowing people to show up to your business without masks? How are you guys dealing with it?
Yeah, everybody's been working from home since the beginning of all this, so it's been relatively easy for us. We're a small business. We do have some people going back to the office, but we're only talking about 3 or 4 people. So it's not a big deal for us, but we've got clients all over the country, and a lot of them have had to shut down, right? I mean, restaurant groups, whatever, you name it, they've had to shut down. And so they're trying to get back to business, trying to survive without going bankrupt. And it's just all these little requirements, laws, things that make it harder for them to do that. There's a lot of negative consequences to that stuff that I think a lot of these politicians just don't think about, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for sharing with us. We sure appreciate your time.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on, Joey.